Yo, what's up guys, Shujinkydink here, and welcome to a video all about my tier list. I had a lot of people ask about some of my reasonings for where I put characters in my tier list. A gentleman actually made a whole reaction video reacting to my tier list, so we're going to watch that today. And I wanted to give my thoughts on the turtles and where they fit into all of this. So let's start with some comments that you guys left, and I'll do my best to kind of explain my train of thought. So I want to get this out of the way. Nice list, but why aren't you replying to most questions asked about it? No disrespect, I'm only asking because you said in the video you would try to answer most of the questions if we left them in the comment section. And indeed, that's what I'm doing now. A little later than intended, but you know, you get an actual video responding to some of the questions. I didn't pick any ones that were like, what the fuck bro, or like other people's opinions. I just asked ones that were specifically asked to me. So yeah, let's get into it. Hey Dink, would you explain your thoughts on Green Arrow being in the B tier, please? Great list overall. Yeah, I think Green Arrow is a good character overall, pretty balanced. The problem is he doesn't really do a whole lot of damage, so that affects his comeback potential. Doesn't really, you know, have a whole lot to come back with unless he's in the corner or something. He can zone and it can be pretty annoying, but his arrows without trait only do like 1%, so it's not really that feared. And then he does have to load additional arrows on top of that, so that takes up some time and gives you, the opponent some advantages. This game is so balanced, it's really, really hard to make a tier list for it. So, because there could be arguments to put him in the A, absolutely. From what I understand, though, I think he's probably B tier. I would like to talk to Sounds Like Pause about it and see how he feels, because I know Green Arrow does have some pretty bad matchups. I think if you have anything that's like a 7-3 in the game, then that's I think that kind of gets you out of the A tier, but again, it's just my opinion. Adam with his trash forward 3. Yeah, Adam's one that, I think overall he's a very balanced character. He's got some really dirty setups in the corner. He doesn't really have zoning, but he has options, and he has a meter burn projectile that can get him a full combo. Good mobility, teleport. It's really hard to punish that teleport actually on reaction if you don't see it coming. Then he also has like the air jump. He just has so many tools, man. I think that I don't really see him losing to anybody. I'm sure he has like a ton of 5-5s and probably more winning matchups than you'd think. I've played him a bit now since that tier list, and I still think he could be a contender for top 5. I would also entertain the idea of him just being high up in the A tier, but I'm comfortable where he is right now in my tier list. I had to pick one for the Flash because nobody actually asked me about the Flash. Everyone kind of had this response. You're crazy. He ain't top tier. Ask Honeybee. No, he's a down player. I like him, but he is a down player. Ivy is barely top 10. Adam is just annoying. I respect your opinion, though. See, this is why I picked this one. He's a gentleman about it. I respect your opinion. I like that. Agree to disagree. With the amount of damage that Flash can do, like almost 700 damage for like one combo of one mix-up, I really find it hard to believe that he really loses any matchup. Maybe Dr. Fate, maybe Poison Ivy. They'd be like 4-6s at most. But I mean, all he needs to do is get in once with trait, boom, you're dead. You can't air escape. You air escape against Flash, he's just going to reset you and do more damage. His flash kick is difficult to punish, but I mean, if you're ready for it and you're used to punishing it, it's not that bad. I just don't see how he's not top 5. Other than people say he has bad matchups, I'm going through the roster trying to be like, who would actually beat the Flash? Like someone who could keep him away. Dr. Fate, Poison Ivy are the only two that come to my mind. And even in this game, you got a meter and roll, so you time one of those right, you're good to go. So that's my opinion. He's staying in my top 5. What's wrong with Green Lantern? Thought he'd be higher. Again, this is one that with his new changes, I would entertain the idea of putting him in an A tier over like a B tier or lower mid. I just really have yet to see what his changes can do. And this, because the patch was so new to come out, things are still being fleshed out. So this is just kind of my opinion on things from, seeing the patch notes and seeing how some things played out. Green Lantern still hasn't really done much. I've played a little bit with Swans, but that was with my Donatello, and that wasn't very fun at all. But, I could totally see Green Lantern being the A tier. Don't think he belongs in the S tier. I think most people would agree with me on that. I'd say if you look at the roster in the whole, he's like right in the middle somewhere. So he really could go either way. So yeah, I definitely entertain the idea of moving him up if he definitely makes some waves. Out of curiosity, what made you replace Hellboy in top 5 with Adam? he got nerfed. I'd also definitely make an argument for Joker being in B tier after his buffs, maybe even Raiden 2 since he's stronger as well. Cold and Grodd are the only ones that seem are absolutely useless. Honestly, in regards to Raiden, I think he's the worst character in Injustice 2 right now. Hard to pick one because everyone's so close as far as balance-wise goes, but if I had to pick like a single worst character in the game, probably, well, that's tough, because Captain Cold, right? Captain Cold has a good trait though, it's like, okay, it's a tie. Raiden and Captain Cold, two worst in the game. Joker, I really didn't want to put him in the bottom, but I did want to have a clear bottom, so I would, again, definitely entertain him being in B tier. I know he has some sick setups and stuff, but I had to pick a bottom, and I just kind of put him there. So if I have to pick, like, if you look at the tier list and you have to find 5 characters that are at the bottom, what are those 5 characters? That's what I tried to do. So again, if you would replace Joker with somebody else, then maybe, but I don't know. I see why people say he's B tier. That's just where I put him for the sake of the tier list. And then Hellboy got some nerfs, nothing too crazy, but I didn't think that he had a whole lot offensive-wise. Like, he has the jump mix-ups, which are kind of annoying, but a good air-to-air can usually beat him out of it. They're just kind of annoying if you don't know how to deal with it. So he's right at the top of my upper mid. You know, he's like top 10 definitely. And I just don't think he's as well balanced as Adam is. But again, I'm always open to conversations about it. Just don't be a dick. Why is Ivy on there? This was without a doubt the most controversial move that I did, and yeah, it was my opinion and it's a prediction that I think that Poison Ivy will be a top 10 after her buffs that they got out. People are saying Bed of Thorns is still kind of trash. It's a little slow, so I'll give you that. But I mean, giving her like a move that's +7 on block, like going from like having like an unsafe wake up to a move that's +7, you can also end strings with it. So I mean, you could just keep pressure going and build more meter. She doesn't have to just zone. And Supergirl got nerfed, which is one of the really bad matchups for her. Although she still kind of has the tools to get around Ivy, but that would be a matchup that you don't really want to zone in. And now that Ivy has better tools, she can fight her better up close, especially with Supergirl's down 1 nerf. You know, there's going to be a lot more pressure opportunities for Ivy. So, yeah, I think that she's top tier. That new move is really a big one that kind of did it for me. Against characters that, you know, that she can zone. It's a mind game, right? If she wants to zone, she does that wake up attack. If they try to attack her, it hits them full screen right where she wants them. If they block it, you know, they get plus on block. Yes, you can jump to avoid it, but then there's the read with the down 2 or the back 3 that she can do on wake up as well. So she's got a lot of options, you know, and her back 3, if she can do it even if they block, you know, even if they get hit. So I don't know. It's just my opinion, and it really made me feel better about it that Mr. J ended up getting top 8 winners, I think, at War of the Gods, right after I put out my tier list with Poison Ivy, so props to him. And yeah, that's just my opinion right now. A lot of people hate me because of it, but it is what it is. Curious on your thoughts about Sub-Zero. He went from bottom to A tier pretty fast. Unless I missed something, what's your reasoning behind his placement? Honestly, Sub was a lot of just kind of shuffling around and stuff. They made his zoning quite a bit better with the Ice Ball, so you can kind of spam it a little bit more, which is nice. And then you throw out the meter burn one, and then you're reacting a little bit more. You're trying to react to it. So it's pretty good. And then he's got his slide for mobility and then his clone and stuff like that. And fixed some hitbox stuff and made his down 3 safe. I think those were huge to his pressure game because a lot of the times they would whiff or they wouldn't work properly. And now they kind of, you know, they work as intended, which makes his up close game just a little bit scarier. So I think he kind of probably moved past the B tier because he was like 1 fix away from going from bottom 5 to A tier anyway. He had all the tools, he just needed a way to put them all together. I think that's kind of what they did here. Again, I would make an argument for putting him in B tier if you want, because in my opinion, he's like kind of at the lower end of my upper mid. But just looking at everything he has, it doesn't seem like he has too many matchups he should struggle in anymore. But again, I'm not a Sub-Zero main, so I could be wrong. This is just my opinion based on what I've seen and what I've experienced. So then we had a lovely gentleman react to my tier list on his YouTube channel. So I am going to watch this with you guys and kind of give my comments as we go along on some of the criticisms that he has about it. A lot of them were kind of similar to your comments, so I might kind of, you know, reiterate some stuff or whatnot. But yeah, This guy, other than, you know, a few moments of being a little bit brash, not a bad dude. So anyways, after the video, go over to his YouTube channel, check him out, tell him I sent you, all that stuff. Let's get into this.
Right now, guys, I am in a good mood. I get on PlayStation and get a message on the side of the screen telling me, have you seen Shujinkydink's tier list? So I said, all right, let me check it out. Hopefully it's not as bad as the last time. And he says, quote unquote, it's worse. And then I had to get right back out my chair and get to this tier list. So basically we're going to be talking about what's on this tier list, because I've now seen it and I'm just like, bruh, Shuj, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? So first off,
what am I doing? What am I doing?
I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna say S tier was by far the worst, either S or A. I don't remember. But anyway, let's get to the C tier. All right. So your lowest is C tier. So these are the characters that you think are the worst in the game. Players Cody has Raiden, Joker, and Grodd. So if you have to have a bottom four, Deadshot goes back in there. I'm not.
It seems very apparent to me that this guy was a Deadshot main and is very upset about it. Because in all those videos that I've watched, he references how bad Deadshot is. Deadshot is not a bad character by any means. He still has 50-50s. He still has good wake-up attacks. One of the best ones in the game, actually. And he has zoning when he needs to zone. There's absolutely no way that he is a bottom-tier character. Just wanted to throw that in there. I do agree with Joker. Like I said, I just had to, you know, make like a bottom. So Joker being up to B tier, I definitely agree with.
I'm not entirely sure about Aquaman, but I definitely will keep Grodd in there. So your C tier is actually really good. I would definitely just take Joker out. I would really take Joker out. Anyway, going on to the B tier, it's slight crazy. So for one, he has Deadshot. Obviously that's trash. I think Enchantress is higher, so it's no big deal. So honestly, B tier is not that big of a deal. I think Cheetah is way higher. I think she's A, hugging S tier.
I had a lot of people actually talk about Cheetah and how they thought that she was a lot higher than I put her. She has good offense, but she, even though her movement is good, her neutral is kind of hard. And she's very unsafe in a lot of the stuff, like the dives and stuff that she does. Once you kind of know the matchup, it's not that hard to beat her. And I know that she's got some tough ones. So that was my reasoning for putting Cheetah in the B tier. I've played against her a lot. Again, she's a decent character. This game is super balanced, but in my opinion, she's just not quite up there. There's too many bad matchups.
And Blue Beetle, I also believe to be S tier. And Green Arrow, I think, is completely broken beyond belief, and I think he also belongs in S-A tier. So
this guy, he says the Green Arrow is broken beyond belief. I'm really curious of his thoughts of why Arrow is broken beyond belief. That is a strong statement. I'm just going to say that again. Broken beyond belief. Like, you can't even believe how broken this character is. Alright. Anyways, get back to it.
I think he's right outside the S and at the top of A tier. So B tier is not that bad. C tier is pretty much good. I'm not gonna lie. So let's get into the A tier. Let's see here. So what are we looking at now? We're messing all the way up. First off, why is Bane up in A tier? He goes straight to B tier.
This is another one that people did mention, is that they thought that Bane could be on B tier. I had him a little bit higher. He had some nice changes, and some of his, you know, not so good matchups got nerfed. So I think he's probably I could agree that he'd be on the B tier. My personal opinion is he's a little bit higher. Just watching Biohazard play and stuff like that, but I would definitely entertain an argument of moving him down to B.
Atrocitus is it's okay. Darkseid's okay. What is Canary doing in A tier? I just needs to know.
Well, if you needs to know, I think Canary is A tier because she has a very, very good trait, extremely good damage, extremely good setups, and she's similar to the Flash in the way that, you know, if she hits you, your health bar is melting, and she can put you right back in another mix-up. If you ever played a high-level Canary, like Tie Boy or Vertigo, for example, watch out, because it's not going to be fun if they get you to the corner. She's just got way too many ways to mix you up. She does suffer against zoning and in the neutral a little bit, being a little bit stubby, but her trait, I mean, you got to be careful when you're zoning her, because she usually wins the trade with her trait. So that's why I have her in A. That's one that I probably wouldn't move to B tier. I mean, some people try and you know kind of force it that way a little bit, but I do think that the positives outweigh the negatives. I think she's probably in the lower of the A tier. Definitely don't think she's S tier, but since she needs to know, I thought I would clarify for you.
What is she doing up here? You shellacking, bruh. Catwoman go.
I'm not exactly sure what he means by shellacking, by the way. If somebody can tell me what that means. Shellac is actually a type of paint. It's a primer, to be exact. And it's paint that was originally made out of the excrement of the shellac beetle in South America. Nowadays they use a synthetic shellac, and shellac paint is used a lot for covering up fire damage, smoke stains, stuff like that. So I'm not exactly sure what he means by shellacking. That's what I know shellac to mean. So maybe I'm just crazy. Anyway, just a little tidbit of information. There is paint made out of bug poo.
Goes. Catwoman stays in the S tier, hands down. Hellboy is currently top 3. Black Manta is currently top 3.
Okay, so Hellboy and Black Manta were the two that everyone was saying should be in my top 5 instead of Adam and Poison Ivy. Maybe. I've yet to really see some really impressive Manta play. I realize he's got a really strong neutral. It just seems like there's, I don't know, I just haven't seen too many successful Black Mantas, and I've been paying attention to the tournament scene and stuff. He seems like a pretty solid character, but you know, I don't know, I haven't seen anyone really super impress me with. Hellboy would be the one that I might move Adam out of S tier for Hellboy, maybe. He does seem like he's got some good stuff. He's pretty, I don't know, pretty out there, but yeah. Anyways, I'm rambling.
I'm just like, Dink, what are you doing? I just want to know. We need to know, because oh my goodness. Other than that, I think the rest of this tier is pretty good. If your S tier has to consist of 4 people, Manta, Hellboy are guaranteed to go in it. I think Catwoman's top 5, so you can argue if she can go in as top 4 or your top 5. It don't really matter. She's in my top 4, but
I still think Catwoman's pretty good. Again, there's so many good characters in this game, man. She's definitely top 10 for sure. All the top players are still saying she's top 5, so there is a bit of an argument there that you know, the best in the world are kind of thinking that. So, you know, I'd go along with it if enough people kind of backed it. So playing Catwoman after I played Star Charger in War of the Gods, and it didn't really feel like she got nerfed that bad. Just some things that probably should have been changed to begin with. Her back 3 still low profiles like crazy, even though it's a little bit slower now. So, yeah, good argument for her being an S tier for sure.
Technically top 5 still, but the fact that Manta and Hellboy aren't in your S tier is like the dumbest thing I've seen of 2018 so far. But let's get into the S tier, and then I'm just like, what the fuck? Huh. Oh my sweet mother of Jesus. Dink, what are you doing, bruh? What is this? Now, you say Black Adam's the best in the game. You fucked up. I think Black Adam's still top 10. I don't know. I
have changed my opinion a bit on Black Adam. I do not think he's the best in the game anymore. I'm not sure if I said that in my tier list video or not. If I did, since then I've changed my opinion, because you're allowed to do that, you know, with given new information. I still do think he's S tier, but I think the best character in this game so far is Firestorm, without a doubt. Top 1. Firestorm's in a tier all of his own. He's too good. He's got everything. So, which makes me look like even a shittier player because I can't even win with him. But it's alright. I've come to terms with that. I'm okay with it. Let's listen to this guy cut me down a little bit more.
No longer believe him to be top 5 anymore. Firestorm, obviously, you know, he's top 3. So, you know, I say top 3, Manta, Hellboy, Firestorm, easy. Adam, though, is definitely not top 5. He has good matchups. Flash, in my honest opinion, he's not top 5, but I don't believe him to be top 10. If he's top 10, he's at the very, very bottom of top 10. And then I look at this character right here. Dink, I just need to know one more time for everybody, my fans, your fans. What is Ivy doing here? I need to know. Like, bro, the only way a character can be ranked high in a tier list is how viable they are in tournaments. So I'm just like, what is Ivy doing here?
Again, as soon as Ivy got buffed, top 8, War of the Gods. She actually did make a top 8 before that too, so she was viable beforehand. She's even more viable after the patch. Didn't get any changes except for good ones. It's just my prediction. I still believe it. I still think she's top 5. No one can convince me otherwise.
She got a plus frame wake up. Her matchups are still decent, but it's like, what is Ivy doing here? That's all I can say. I can't even give an explanation for that. At the, like, I think the last tier list, I think from like A to like F, I think I gave Dink's last tier list like a D. I'm gonna give it, no, I think I gave it a C. I'm gonna give this one an F. I can't even lie, like D minus. Like this.
I hope he means F for fantastic, because it's a fantastic list, and a fantastic number of people disagree with it. But when I make up my tier lists, usually I do it in terms of matchups. So how many matchups they win, how many matchups they lose. Again, I'm not an expert with every single character, but I do, you know, have access to communities and stuff and see people talking. So, you know, like from some of the things I've seen, Poison Ivy, a lot of her bad matchups have kind of been toned down a little bit, and she's been buffed as a result. I think she's not like Firestorm by any means, but I think she's probably mostly 5/5s, maybe 1 or 2 bad matchups, and that's about it. So that's kind of why I had her in there, but it's just my opinion. You're allowed to have an opinion, and you're allowed to disagree with my opinion. My word isn't gospel by any means.
Tier list is really, really bad. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I don't know what to say. I am appalled. But it is what it is, man. It's his opinion. I can't necessarily say that he's wrong. I'm just saying that his opinions don't line up with mine. That's all I can say. This is just a reaction video, but it is his main. So anyway, at the end of the day, it's been your boy Time. I'm signing off. Peace out, guys.
Like how his intro just like fades away. He doesn't even finish saying it. That's great. So that's it, guys. I'll leave a little link to his channel up here. Head over there, subscribe if you want. He posts some interesting videos. With his opinions and stuff and whatnot. It looks like he also reposts content as well. I haven't watched it to see if he puts commentary on it or if it's actually like original content, you know. But yeah. Anyways, that was that. And now I want to talk about the turtles. Now it's very, very, very early for the turtles. I think, in my honest opinion, all 3 of them, except for Leonardo, are in the lower mid tier. Again, this is really early, really hard to say, could totally change. The one that I might also put in the upper mid tier would be Michelangelo. He's got some pretty good damage and setups. So I'd maybe put Michelangelo and Leonardo in the upper mid, and the other 2 are definitely lower. So yeah, take that as it is. I think as far as the turtles, as far as tier-wise goes, I think Donatello is probably the lowest tier out of all of them, then Raphael, then Michelangelo, and then Leonardo. So that's my little turtles tier list for you. But yeah, anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like because it really helps me out, and subscribe because we make new videos.